Title: My wife secretly sold my $9 million farmhouse for just $1 million and called me, saying, I spent all the money on my boyfriend's business. He needed it more than you. I immediately canceled my trip and rushed home. Start. The phone call came mid-flight. Her voice, syrupy and unapologetic, wrapped around my eardrum like acid. I spent all the money on my boyfriend's business. He needed it more than you. I gripped the armrest so hard my knuckles turned white. What had I done to deserve this? My chest tightened. $9 million, gone. My farmhouse, my sanctuary, gone for a petty fling. I canceled the trip immediately. The stewardess eyed me suspiciously as I stormed off the plane. My mind raced, not with panic, but with a cold, simmering clarity. By the time I landed, my pulse had slowed. The storm was inside me, controlled, deliberate. She had always been charming in the small ways: coffee in bed on lazy Sundays, laughing at my terrible jokes, subtle touches that made the world feel like it belonged to us. I believed in us, in her. That trust is what made betrayal cut so deep. It wasn't the money, it was the layers of deception, the late-night whispers, the secret smiles at her phone, the way she looked at him, not me. Signs were always there: the sudden interest in business ventures, the late-night withdrawals from the accounts we'd built together. I'd dismissed them, naive, stupid. But when I found out the sale had gone through, it wasn't just shock. It was a spark, a dangerous, precise spark that ignited strategy instead of rage. I parked outside our old street, the one she claimed she couldn't keep up with anymore. My eyes scanned the lot, the surrounding houses, the suspiciously vacant plots. I started quietly. Surveillance, a few private investigators, subtle legal maneuvers. I traced the funds, studied her patterns, and watched her boyfriend. Their empire was small, brittle, and exposed. The farmhouse wasn't gone. It had never been the real property she sold. That $1 million sale was a fraudulent transaction, paper-thin but legally convincing to someone with less foresight. I smiled for the first time in days, leaning against my car. Let her believe she had won. Let her bask in that false sense of power. That confidence would be her undoing. Weeks passed. I collected evidence meticulously: financial records, signed contracts, surveillance footage of their clandestine meetings. I set up accounts, funds, and legal contingencies. Every move was calculated, invisible, silent. She had underestimated me. Every lie she told, every slight, every betrayal, it all fed the architecture of her eventual collapse. The day came when I struck. She was hosting a dinner, flaunting her success. I arrived unannounced. The room fell silent, the air thick with anticipation that only I could feel. I handed her a folder, plain, unassuming. She flipped it open. Her face shifted through shades: confusion, disbelief, terror. Legal notices, falsified deeds, tax liabilities she hadn't accounted for. The FBI audit notice was the cherry on top. "You didn't sell anything," I said softly, controlled. My calm voice cut sharper than any scream. "You just played yourself." Her boyfriend tried to intervene, a futile attempt. My evidence, my preparation, left him exposed, bankrupt, humiliated. Her network of lies collapsed in real time. Friends whispered, neighbors watched. The image of power she had so meticulously curated disintegrated like sand through her fingers. Tears, apologies, stammering, entirely theatrical. I felt nothing but the quiet satisfaction of inevitability. She looked at me finally. No charm, no deflection. Just fear and the stark realization that the person she underestimated had orchestrated every domino. I didn't gloat, not out loud. There's a pleasure in silence, in letting them implode on their own. I walked away while she tried to salvage remnants of her dignity. Every step echoed a truth she had ignored for years. Betrayal carries consequences, precise and unavoidable. Later, in my actual farmhouse, the one untouched, unsold, and more magnificent than ever, I sat by the window. Sunset painted the fields golden. I poured myself a drink and let the calm wash over me. The betrayal was nothing now but a memory, a shadow from which I had emerged stronger, smarter, untouchable. I didn't call the police. I didn't seek revenge in noise. Justice had its own rhythm, and I simply followed it. Every legal maneuver, every subtle maneuver, had been orchestrated like a symphony. I had allowed her to dance on the edge of victory, and then I had pulled the floor from beneath her. The irony was delicious. She thought she'd stolen a fortune, but she had merely stolen air, empty paper, hollow victory. And in doing so, she exposed everything about herself: greed, recklessness, arrogance. I had merely revealed the truth. I leaned back, the farmhouse sprawling behind me, untouched and mine. And in that moment, I laughed. Not out of malice, not from cruelty, but from the serenity of someone who had seen betrayal, understood it, and converted it into triumph. Some people call it revenge. I call it justice, executed with patience, intellect, and unwavering calm. She had underestimated me, and that was her greatest mistake. The farmhouse is mine. The peace is mine. And the lesson? Never mistake patience for weakness or kindness for naivety. I sip my drink. Sunset burns gold across the fields. I smile. All is as it should be.